So everybody is talking about Trump's State of the Union address last night. They're talking about the length, immigration, Pelosi's stock trading, a bunch of political theater stuff. But what I don't hear people talking about is AI and financial decisions that are going to impact the ability for guys like you and me to remain relevant, respected, and financially free. At the end of the day, that's what I care about. Where are the opportunities? Where are the gaps? Where are the places that we can get ahead and provide for our friends, family, communities? Today, we're going to cover some of the top AI news that you need to know in order to advance here in 2026 and beyond. So the first major piece of news here is that he is pledging to make sure that major tech companies build their own power plants when they construct data centers. He calls it the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. Now, one of the biggest complaints that we're seeing across the country now is rising cost of electricity when you are located near a data center. Now, there's other issues that people have with data centers. They're big, they're ugly, they have this humming noise. They're these soulless giant buildings that don't employ a ton of people. Now, that being said, a lot of work, a lot of human labor goes into constructing them, but once they're built, well, they pretty much run themselves with, maybe a few dozen laborers. Regardless, one of the biggest problems I think that people have is they put up a data center next door, all of a sudden there's more demand for the electricity supply and your electricity bill goes up as a resident. Nobody wants that. In fact, we're seeing major pushback. We've seen Microsoft, we've seen Google have to pull out of major data center deals, losing hundreds of millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars when these plans fall through. I mean, just last week, this city in New Jersey blocked a data center from going up. Now, what Trump is basically saying here is, well, if you guys are concerned, if the Americans, citizens are concerned about rising electrical bills, here's the solution. You want to build a giant data center, you have to supply the energy for it. He says, quote, "We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you." And the White House plans to reveal that exact plan coming March. So this coming March. So we're going to see exactly how that rolls out. I do have some concerns here. I like the idea, because I'm pro AI. I think AI is going to change the world in a lot of ways. Some good, some bad. That's what the reality. It's coming. In order for AI to operate, you need data centers. You need to be able to compute and process all the tokens, all the information, all the data. And let's be straight just for a second here. Let's be honest. It is an immense amount of power that is accruing to big tech companies. An immense amount of power. Everything from communications to surveillance to finances. Like the entire world is revolving. Everything that we think is basically going through the lens of these big tech companies. Now, if we add on to that, big tech companies are responsible for building out the next generation of power. In the United States, that's just another level of power. So I do have some concerns about the centralization of power. Regardless, this seems to be an announcement. To me, it seems to make some sense. I don't hate it at face value, but I'll be watching it closely. Additionally, Trump highlighted America's leadership in AI through a national strategy and action plan, and basically saying, hey guys, look, you guys know how Trump is. He likes to brag about everything. And just a quick side note, the State of the Union last night, I thought it was moderately interesting. One of the things that I don't like about the State of the Union is no president ever goes up and says, guys, we messed that up. This was a problem. And this is not just a Trump thing. This is every president. I've never heard a president get up and say, you know what, guys, I really screwed that one up, but I'll get it right next time. It's always, I'm the best. We're the best. Anyway, you take everything with a grain of salt. Everything that he said sounded good, but you got to fact check everything. Anyway, I digress. Regardless, this is what he says. He says, he highlighted America's leadership in AI through the National Strategy and Action Plan, which he claims has attracted over $2.7 trillion in tech and AI investments, including $90 billion in Pennsylvania for AI and energy projects. And we've covered some of these, like the Japanese SoftBank investments in the United States. AI was also a focus when it comes to education. He highlighted the presidential AI challenge that was launched last year by First Lady Melania Trump. By the way, side note, why is Melania Trump leading an AI education initiative? I guess, maybe female education maybe makes sense. It just kind of reminds me, going back a few years, where Biden named Kamala Harris the AI czar. And I was like, Kamala Harris, the AI czar? I don't know, that didn't seem like a good fit. Anyway, Melania Trump is kind of the figurehead, the face of this presidential AI challenge, which is essentially a challenge for students K through 12 to solve real world problems using AI. They can either put together a proposal of how AI can solve problems in their communities, or they can actually build an AI solution to address those problems. And just as a quick side note, education isn't as flashy as big numbers and big dollars and wars and things that are happening overseas, international diplomacy. But guys, we have got to get education under control. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. 40% of US students cannot read at a basic level. Do you think that that's gonna get better the more tablets we put in kids' hands? It is a major, major problem. And it was really exacerbated during the COVID-19 pandemic shutdowns. I'll give you a quick story here. I was working in an insurance office. I was managing an insurance office, and one of the women in there had a son. He was 8 years old, and COVID hit. Couldn't go to school. But she had to work. She's got to put food on the table. So what did she do? Well, she brought her son to the office, and we were okay with that. We said, sure, we're going to accommodate. So she brought her son to the office. We were here in Florida, so it wasn't like we were completely shut down. We still had an office. We couldn't bring customers in, and we were all separating our little nooks, and we're all wearing masks, and it was crazy. Anyway, I digress. She brings her son in, and this is the plan. The plan was for her son, who's an 8-year-old boy, lots of energy, to sit in front of a computer screen all day, 8 hours, and learn off of a laptop. Let me tell you something. That kid made it 5 minutes into the day, and then he was distracted. And it seems like we've memory holed this. We've completely forgotten that we put almost an entire generation of kids through this, where they missed out on 6 months to a year, in some cases 2 years of education, because you're telling them they have to learn from home. They couldn't go to school. And we have not felt the butterfly effect and the ramifications of that decision. And we did an incredibly significant disservice to our youth in that. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. So he highlighted this AI presidential challenge. I think it's great. Get kids using AI. I think it's awesome. Help kids learn skills that are going to be relevant to them in this upcoming ecosystem that we've got. I think it's great. It actually reminds me of a program that Meta put on as well. Post a link to a video here where I covered it, but Meta has a current program going on where you can essentially do the same thing. If you build solutions using Meta products and services and related to AI, they'll actually pay you money. They have $2 million in grants that they're paying out. If you were considering that or you want to apply for that, I'll post a link to it there. Anyway, so I think all of that is great. I think it's fantastic. And just another quick story on education, which I think is really shocking, just because, guys, this is something that's important to me. It's important to me. I have more means, as it were. I have the ability to spend time with my kids, to help people. Not every person has this. There's a lot of guys out there, a lot of women out there too, that, they're working multiple jobs. They don't have time to sit with their kids every night and make sure that they're learning, right? Not to mention, I don't know if the last time you've done long division, but it's a little bit tricky. Thankfully, ChatGPT helps me when I get stuck on homework questions with my kids. Okay, I digress. One more quick thought on education, which I think is important before we get to the next point, about the announcements at the State of the Union. Financial literacy in school is a debacle. let me get it straight. I'm for anything that's gonna help fix what's happening in the US education system. It is completely busted. It's completely broken. I gave you that stat a moment ago that 40% of kids are essentially illiterate. They can't keep their train of thought for 10 minutes because they're stuck on TikTok shorts that are 15 seconds long. Anything over 15 seconds, it's like, this is boring. It doesn't give me the dopamine I need. I can't compute a larger thought. But financial literacy is a huge problem too. It's like the system is like designed to keep kids poor, essentially. It's designed to keep you poor. And financial literacy is a huge problem. And I don't want to make excuses for anyone. You have the internet, you have YouTube, you have Stephen Graham. So you should have some moniker of, if you wanted to have some moniker of financial literacy, it is available to you. There's Caleb Hammer out there. There's plenty of resources out there. Dave Ramsey. Regardless, I'm gonna give you a quick story. Back when I was teaching, or when I was in the insurance industry, I was asked by one of my clients to come speak at their high school. It was a high school, local high school, and I'm not gonna name the high school, but I was invited by one of the teachers at a school to go speak to a local high school about insurance. And so I went in to explain about vehicles, car insurance, and vehicle loans, something I thought would be relevant to the kids. These are seniors in high school, so they need to be thinking about car insurance rates. They need to be thinking about vehicle loans and what impacts the interest rate that you get on a loan. And one of the questions I've asked, I did this twice. I taught two lessons to two separate groups of students. Each class was maybe 30 to 40 kids. So out of all these kids, about 70 to 80 kids, I asked this question: how many of you know what a credit score is? And I'm not kidding when I tell you zero. Not one kid knew what a credit score was. What chance does a kid have at being successful in life if they don't understand the concept of a credit score? Not to mention an interest rate. Not to mention if they try to buy a home and they don't understand what an amortized loan is. Or they take out a loan to go to college at a university and they find out, oops, everything that I've learned at university doesn't actually work in the real world now because AI has impacted the career ladder. Something we've talked about a lot on this channel. I'll post a link to a video about that right here. Regardless, the education system is completely screwed up. AI is completely upending it, and I think it's a good thing to incentivize and help kids learn better, let's just say. Now, speaking of finances, another thing that came up was the announcement to help Americans without 401k plans. And Trump said, quote, half of all working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. Now, back when I was working as a W-2 employee, my employer matched me. So whatever I would put in, they would match me up to the maximum contribution. And now I don't have that. I'm a 1099 contractor, run a business, pay myself out, but I don't have access to that sort of price match on my retirement. I don't have a retirement match account. So this to me is pretty exciting. Also, one of the things we've been talking about on the channel is companies are laying people off, firing people, trying to replace them with AI. When the AI doesn't work out, well, they go and they start hiring people back. But they're not hiring people back as W-9 employees. They're hiring people back is 1099 contractors. And when you do that, it is almost assured you're not going to get a matching contribution for your employer. So, well, what does this mean? If you enroll for this plan, which is going to be rolled out in 2027, if you enroll in this plan, you'll have the opportunity to get a matching contribution from the US federal government with tax deferred growth, AKA your investments are going to be 2x'd when you put them into this account. You put in $1,000, they'll match you up to $1,000. And this plan is based off the thrift savings plan that is offered to federal workers. But again, you don't have to be a federal worker to qualify for the plan. More details on that are going to come soon, but I thought that was a positive thing, set to launch in 2027. Also talked about Trump accounts for kids, which is kind of a similar thing where you have a kid that you can get contributions, matching contributions. It's my understanding the federal government will also put $1,000 into a retirement account if you have a new kid. So maybe we're gonna have a baby boom, the Trump baby boom. I don't know, we'll see. Regardless, those were, I think, the most interesting points from the State of the Union last night, things that we need to be aware of. These are more opportunities to find jobs, grow finances, and understand what's coming down the pipeline, because please believe that AI agents are coming this year. I just got back from a local church business leaders group, and AI agents are the talk. That is the talk, boys. I'm not gonna go into it in this video, but it is coming. It's going to be big. It's already here, quite frankly. Regardless, those are the top takeaways. What did you take away from the State of the Union? Post it in the comments below, and I will check out what you put there. All right, boys, I'll check you in the next one. See you. Peace.